So, I'm really excited today. On today's call, I'm going to answer the question, how do you re-spark your fire, your passion, your motivation for your weight loss journey in those really, really dark moments, okay? And the reason for this is because, I've been watching some videos. I'm always trying to expand my mind and learn more things to help you ladies. And what's really funny is I hear this common phrase, like a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers will say, just remember why you started, right? You hear that all the time. When you're in like a low slump, someone will tell you, just remember why you started, or you try to tell yourself, just remember why you started, right? That phrase is pretty familiar. But how do you do that? Like, how does that even work? Like, saying it is one thing and actually using it to fuel you is another thing. And I want to use it to fuel you, and I'm going to show you how to do that with a happiness hack. All right, I'm going to show you a happiness hack. And before we get into the happiness hack, first of all, I want to make sure we all agree on the same definition of happiness, because I think that is a very vague word and can be interpreted in so many different ways. So, ladies, in the comments, what is your definition of happiness? What is your definition of happiness? Take a second, think about it. It's a big question. It's like saying, what's the definition of love, right? There's so many different ways to interpret it. So in the comments, let me see if I can get a couple definitions of what you think love is, okay? Because what I think, happiness is. Because what I think happiness is, to me, right now, at this phase in my life, it is being content in the moment without fear of the unknown from the future, and without being held back by the unchangeable past. That's my vision, my version of happiness right now. And I think it's something that can change as we go through different experiences, and I think it can deepen and get more profound or more simple too. But first and foremost, in order to know, a happiness hack, I need you to know what your version of happiness is. Okay, so once you've thought of that, now I want you to think of, all right, this is where I'm going to use your brain power. I want you to think back to a time in your life, a very specific moment where you can remember that you were the happiest you've ever been. What was the happiest moment in your life, honestly and truly? And can you remember it? So take a second, think about it. Write it in the comments. Some of you might have thought of something immediately. Some of you might still be thinking. It's crazy, right? So what is the happiest moment in your life? So whatever the definition of happiness you just said, when did you feel that the most? When did you feel that the most? The most, the highest. If you're a happy person all the time, that's awesome, but there's levels. So where's the highest? Okay, so now that you have this idea, this event, this situation, okay, I want you to explain and go through, where were you? What was happening? Why did it happen? Like, what led to it? Who were you with? And what other emotions were you feeling? So take a second and reflect on this, all right? Because all of that created the happiest moment in your life, right? And the reason we're going into this is because if you want to be able to actually, remember why you started and pull yourself out of that slump, you need to be able to recreate and facilitate happiness, right? And you can't pull happiness out of your butt. You got to know what has made you happy, and you do that by looking at the past. What has made you in the past? How can we recreate that in the present? Okay, so now you have you have your definition of happiness. You have the happiest moment that you can think of right now, and then you kind of have what created that happy moment. Okay, and now I want to share with you my perfect day cheat sheet so that we can constantly have moments like that all the time, right? You can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have success without failure, right? Fit Queens know that better than anybody, right? You're super successful, but guess what? You're also going to fail more times than anybody else, right? So those negative emotions come with the positive emotions, but you should be able to have more positive than negative, right? You should be able to facilitate more positive than negative. You should be able to have more happiest moments of your life than just mediocre moments or bad moments. Okay, but probably if you were to put it on a graph, put it on a scale, there'd be a lot of mediocre moments, probably a fair amount of happy moments, and a fair amount of bad moments. And we want to take that and shift it to the happy side, okay? And we do that with, like I was saying, the perfect day cheat sheet, okay? And maybe you've heard Coach Ryan and I talk about this before. But this is really cool, okay? It's such a simple concept, but it just makes so much sense. So I want you guys to think about, what does your perfect day look like? From the second you wake up to the second you go to bed, what does your perfect day look like? And don't be realistic. Be selfish. Don't worry about being judged if it sounds silly. And incorporate, what can other people do to make it the best day ever? Like, get selfish, get crazy. Like, if you woke up tomorrow, what does the perfect day look like for you? Okay, and it's a big question because it takes some time to actually think about. Like, actually, like, you know, do you wake up at 8 a.m. or do you wake up with the sunshine with no alarm? And then do you have a servant coming and giving you breakfast in bed? Like, go that far. Like, what is your perfect day? All right. Some of the stuff in my perfect day is, I love alone time. Like, I just love being isolated for like an hour or two. No one talks to me. And I love going to bed with a foot rub. That's like my perfect day, right? There's more in my perfect day, but those are two things in my perfect day. So take a second. It does take a while to create your perfect day, but off the top of the head, I know you guys have some things you're excited about that you're like, if I could get that every day, I'd be so happy. So put that in the comments. What do you think that would be? A couple things, one or two things that if they happened every day, it would be the perfect day every day. What are a couple of those things? All right. And what ends up happening, ladies, you have this perfect day cheat sheet. And now you know exactly what you want to happen every day to be happy. So now you know you have a guideline, you have a schedule that you can start to follow. Even if some of the things in your day aren't possible yet, you can start to follow the ones and you get closer and closer and closer to that perfect day. And what happens is, anybody else who you love in your life, who you want to grow with in your life, you tell them to do the exact same thing. You say, I need you to sit down and write down your perfect day. And don't be realistic, and be selfish, and don't worry if it's silly. You won't be judged. Like, if you give this to your husband and he said, I want sex 5 times a day, all right, no judgment. That's your perfect day. At least you know. At least you know. And now there's no wires being crossed. There's no having to read anybody's mind. You know exactly how to make someone else happy, and they know exactly how to make you happy. So there's never any butting of heads. And then you take these perfect days if it's your significant other, your child, your best friend, your parents. You take it and you say, okay, what can I do to contribute to their personal happiness every day, their perfect day every day? And there's literally no way that you won't be making somebody happy, and in return them making you happy. And it's crazy. And Ryan and I have done this. Ryan and I have written hour by hour what our perfect day looks like, hour by hour. And every day we try to match that for each other. I look at his and I'm like, what can I do to make this the perfect day for him? And he does that for me. And then I look at mine and I try to make it my perfect day as well. And it's such a cool tool because it's just so simple, right? Like, tell someone what you want every day and then they do it. But we forgot that, oh yeah, we have to get clear on what we want first. So that's why this is so cool. What's also so cool about the perfect day cheat sheet, and I think you ladies will really appreciate this as elevated fit queens, is you really get to know someone's love language. Have you guys heard about love languages before? It's a pretty popular phrase. It's been thrown around a lot. And basically, oh, did I lose you guys? There we go. So have we heard about love languages before? Some of you, okay. So love language is basically, I think there's 5 ways that you can give and receive love. That's the simple definition. And here's the kicker though. Everybody's love languages are different. Everybody has usually 1 or 2 of those 5 that they gravitate towards the most. And here's the thing. Because we gravitate to those 1 or 2 most, because that's how we receive love, guess how we show love? The exact way we like to receive it. But if everybody's different, you can't show someone love in the way you want to be loved. You have to show someone love in the way they want to be loved. So the 5 love languages, if I can remember properly. So number 1 way to give and receive love is words of affirmation. So words of affirmation, so things like positive talks, right? So words of affirmation is number one, like good job, you're doing great, I'm so thankful for you, all of that. Number two is physical touch, so somebody who likes to cuddle, somebody who likes to just like massages and things like that. So physical touch is another one. Then you have quality time, so just spending time with somebody. Then you have gifts, so if you like to receive gifts. And then you have acts of service. So acts of service is the last one. So, acts of service would be like giving somebody or going grocery shopping for somebody, or doing something for somebody, taking the garbage out. Like that's acts of service. So that's the fifth one. All right. So based on those 5 love language, ladies, which one do you think you resonate with the most? I know I keep freezing a little, guys. I'm still working on the connection here. I'll try my best. So again, it's physical touch, acts of service. Oh my goodness, we froze again. What's going on? I'll work with the freezing. There we are. So physical touch, act of service, okay, quality time, gifts, or words of affirmation. Those are your 5 love languages, right? One of them you'll gravitate towards most. You may have 2 or 3 that you gravitate towards. But the thing is, you need to identify those needs, right? Those are your love needs. That's how you receive and give attention and feel appreciated. So you need to know which ones you want. And then you incorporate that into your perfect day, right? So if you really like physical touch, if that's how you feel love and connection, then you need to incorporate that into your perfect day. What does that mean for you? Does that mean going for a walk and holding hands? Does it mean getting a massage every night before bed? Like, what does physical touch mean to you? Words of affirmation. Do you want to hear, how was your day? Oh, you're such a hard worker. Do you want to hear those appreciative words at the end of the day? And then now your partner, your friends, your family, they know how to show you love so that you feel appreciated. But then you have to flip it and ask the people in your life, what are your love languages, right? Because if your love language is words of affirmation and your friend or your partner's love language is gifts, and you just keep giving them words and they want a gift, there's going to collide. There's going to be wires crossed. They're not going to feel appreciated, and you're going to resent them because you're trying and they're not receiving it. And then we just keep getting spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. And you know what, ladies? This is one of the leading causes of divorces. Do you guys know that? One of the leading causes of divorces is improper love languages, of only giving love in the way that you like to receive it. Not knowing your partner's love language, your friend, your child, your parents, is like a one-way ticket to misunderstanding and a strained relationship, right? Does anybody, or do we all, like, usually all of us have like a friend that we were really, really good friends with in the past, but you just drifted apart. You had a falling out. You guys all have a friend like that? And it probably happened because you guys there was no more connection anymore, right? Like maybe one of you was like, oh, she doesn't care about me anymore. She's not showing me love, right? She's not texting me every day. Or maybe your friend wanted you to text you every day because she gets words of affirmation. She likes quality time. But you don't need that stuff. You like gifts, right? So if you had falling out with people, or if you have a strained relationship right now, does anybody have a strained relationship in their life that they want to work on? Yeah. So think about, okay, why is it strained? Like, what am I doing that I'm not communicating properly with them in a way that they're going to respond to? Really, really and truly, because it's so funny because Ryan has different love languages than me. I do not like physical touch. I don't know. Does anybody else not like physical touch, or does anybody like physical touch? I'm just not. That's just not me. Like, I like my bubble. Like, leave me alone. Like if he touches my foot in the middle of the night, I get pissed off and like kick it away. Like, I'm just not big on physical touch all the time. But he is, right? But if I just kept in my love language bubble, he would be very unhappy because he feels that I love him when I show him the like physical touching, right? But if I went years without realizing that, then there's resentment, right? Then there's miscommunication. Then there's passive aggressiveness. Then there's, oh, you never touch me, right? And we've all had moments of that. Every relationship has had that passive aggressive moment in there, right? Whether it's with your kids, your friends, like, you know, kids are the worst, or you as a parent, or you when you were a kid, you know, parents always say, well, you never listen, or you never hang out with me anyway, or you're always on the TV, you're always on the phone, right? Why? Because they probably want quality time with you. Quality time is their love language, but you're not giving it to them. Your love language is gifts, and you got an Xbox, so you're happy, right? But your parents, they want quality time. And if you gave them that, they'd get off your back, and you'd both be happy, and you'd both have a healthy, mutually beneficial, symbiotic relationship. Is this making sense? It's very, very cool, very, very simple, but it all starts with, like, again, defining what your definition of happiness is, and remembering a point in time where you felt that completely, you felt that 100%. And then you know the feeling, or then you know the circumstances that created that feeling, and then you incorporate them into your perfect day. And then that's step one. You have your perfect day. Then start to implement it, and then get everybody in your life who you love and you cherish and who you want to grow with. Because you're not going to do this with somebody who you want to grow apart from, right? Like your crazy aunt who you never speak to, who always gossips. Like, you're not going to do that to her, right? But you're going to do this to the people who matter. Especially, this is very, very important, I find, for parents and children. Whether you're the parent or you're the child with your older parents, I find that they're so similar to you in so many ways that we don't even know it sometimes. And you just collide heads, right? If you lived with your parents now, would you guys get along? If you lived with your parents now, like, there would be a little bit of friction, right? A little bit of friction. And that's because you guys aren't listening to the love languages. It's very, very simple to make somebody happy, right? We all know one person in our lives who you go around and you can't help but smile because they're contagious. Why? Because they figured out how to make you happy. They know what your love language is. You like compliments, so they're always going to give you compliments, right? And it's crazy like that. So take a second, and I want you to put in the comments, who is the most important relationship in your life right now? Who is the person that's the most important in your life right now? Who is that? Could be yourself, mom, husband, daughter, uncle, friend, whoever that most important relationship is right now. Do you know that person's love language? Yes or no? Put it in the comments. Or could you know it better? There we go. Yeah. Some no, some yes. Now, do you communicate with them in their love language? Or do you do it in your love language? That's the real question. I tried, kinda. Yeah, it's hard. And you don't even realize, because you try, you think that's enough, right? Because you're actively making an effort, you think it's going to pay off. But if you're not making a conscious effort and realizing what the effort is you're putting forth, it's not going to make a difference, because it's kind of like just hitting a brick wall. Like, the actions you do, the words you say, they kind of bounce right off the other person because they're not resonating with it, right? If you guys all came to Fit Queen because of our free challenge, right? If I advertise a challenge as a mind makeover right away, would you be interested? Probably not. You'd be like, what the hell? That's lame. I just want to lose some weight, right? Just give me some fast weight loss, right? So I met you guys where you're at. I gave you what you wanted. And as a result, guess what? We both benefited. I've given you your mind makeover, which I wanted to do the whole time. And you've lost weight along the way. You got what you want. I've got what I wanted. But we went on this journey together to get to this point. I met you where you're at. And that's how you really, really just strengthen bonds. Right? Because when you have these conversations with people, like, are you guys already thinking about asking this person to do their perfect day? Like, you should already be thinking about when you're going to do that and how you're going to ask them. And it may cause some collision, right? You may be like, really? That's what you want? Like, you may be so surprised. Like, when I read some of Ryan's, I was like, really? That's all you want? Like that's it? I can do that. I can do that. What the hell? And it just makes life so much easier. So for you, you need your perfect day cheat sheet, because now every day you're creating the perfect day. Every day you're creating this perfect life that you are trying to reach, but you're so busy trying to reach it, you forget that you're living a life right now. Does anybody else feel like that? You have this goal of where you want to be, and you're so focused on that goal that you forget that you're also where you are right now. You forget that you can also enjoy the moment right now. You can also enjoy your body right now. And when you do that, it becomes very, very easy to start to manifest that future you without focusing on that future you so much that you forget there's a present you, right? Because at Fit Queen, we are so big on picturing that future you and start acting like her today. But sometimes we forget the acting part. Sometimes all we do is keep picturing and working. We forget, what would I actually do when I'm her? When I've lost weight, when I'm fit, when I'm healthy, when I've had my complete mind makeover, what would I do? How would I act? Right? Not just, what are the habits she does, but how does she think, right? She's going to meal prep frequently. She's going to fit her workouts in. She's going to eat healthy. But what are her habits? And implement them today. Implement them into your perfect day so you can be happy in the moment. That's the key to pulling yourself out of a slump, being happy in the moment and realizing you're going to get somewhere, but stop trying to rush there, because then you miss the whole journey there. And that's what's happened in the past when you try to lose weight. You've missed the entire journey there. You sped to the destination. You maybe missed short of the destination or held the destination for a little bit of time. And then you fell off again because you forgot to appreciate the journey. You didn't create your perfect day. So you didn't enjoy every day of the journey. So of course you didn't keep what that journey gave you because you did not enjoy the journey. Is this making sense? It's a very cool way to look at things, right? We forget that there's still a present you that needs to be taken care of. And you need to be happy. You need to be, we always think that this future us, we're going to be so happy and we're going to be able to do all this stuff when we reach her. But you have the power to do all that stuff right now. Bring it back to the present. How can you do that now? Fit that into your cheat sheet, your perfect day cheat sheet. And then you get to enjoy every moment. And then it's not, you're not dragging your feet every time you have to do a workout. It's not torture to resist the chocolate every time. Right? Because sometimes it is. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you forget why you're doing it because the goal seems so far away. But if you can pull it back to, oh, you know what? I'm actually enjoying my day. And every day you can wake up excited to do your things, to do the habits you're supposed to be doing. Well, then it becomes so much easier, right? Because who wakes up excited every day right now? Who jumps out of bed so excited to just, I'm going to freaking lose some weight and be healthy today? Sometimes. And maybe some of you are going through an awesome time right now where you are every day. But for the rest of your life, how can you be happy every day? How can you remember what drives you? How can you remember why you started? Well, if you wake up to the perfect day, how could you not be excited? How could you not be excited? If you hand make your perfect day with the person that you love the most and the person who matters the most, and then they work all day to make your day perfect, and you work all day to make your day perfect, every day is perfect. And then you're not working for the weekend or working for the vacation, right? Because who says every Friday, thank goodness it's Friday, right? Why do we say that? Why does it have to be that way? Why does it have to be that way? Why? It doesn't have to stay that way. It's so funny. Like, we spend so much of our life doing things to be able to do other things. But what if the thing that you spent the most time doing, you actually enjoyed and became the thing you were working towards anyway? Like we spend so much time, putting in hours at work or putting in hours to build something or do this so we can go on that vacation to Mexico, so we can buy that dream house, so we can buy our dream car, so we can take care of our family. But we forget that that stuff can happen now if we live in the present. Because what you do now could be the thing you want to do. You just have to change the way that you think. Or change the thing, which is a big ballsy move, right? Changing careers, changing relationships, right? Those are hard decisions. Hard decisions. But if your perfect day doesn't allow for what you're doing day to day right now, you have some thinking to do, right? If the perfect day that you're starting to create in your head right now doesn't look anything like your day-to-day life now, that's a problem, right? They're never going to line up. How are you going to be happy? So what are you doing to bring those two closer together? That's what I want you to take away from this call. So I want you to sit down and write down hour by hour, what is your perfect day? And then I want you to give it to the person who matters most. Best friend, mom, husband, and see what they have to say. And be like, hey, this is what I'd like. See what they have to say and be like, I want you to make one too. And let's work together. And if you don't have a partner or if you don't have anybody to give it to yourself and work for that every day. And it's that simple. It's just making that connection, right? You know X, you know Y, but they need to be connecting. If your day-to-day life is not matching up with that cheat sheet, there is a problem. You are going down a road of unhappiness, right? Right? How can you ever reach all these goals you're so excited to reach now if you're not happy every day? Because that's exactly why you haven't been successful in the past with your weight loss. Because you didn't enjoy the journey wasn't sustainable, therefore the results weren't. So if you're not enjoying the journey, you're not going to be able to maintain your results. And you're going to fall off and you're going to go back to those days that you don't enjoy, back to the days that are the complete opposite of what you want your days to look like. And I don't want that for anybody. Do you guys want that? Do you guys want your old imperfect day to take over again? No. So you need to be looking forward. Fail forward, look forward, plan your day, and you can wake up excited. And it changes too. It's okay if this perfect day cheat sheet changes. And it will change as you evolve. It will change as the people in your life evolve. But it's just such a great tool. It's so simple. It just shows you exactly what you need to be happy. There's no wires crossed. There's no reading minds. You now know this is what I need every day to be happy. This is what I need every day to survive and to feel loved. Game over. Doesn't everybody want the cheat sheet to happiness? Of course. Of freaking course. So that is what I want you to take away from this, okay? What are you guys taking away from this? So what's resonating with you specifically about this whole topic? Let's see in the comments. Again, it's just like we want to recreate these happy moments all the time. Like too often, like we just are like zombies through our day. Like, do you guys remember what happened today? Does anything exciting happen today? Is anything worth sharing a story about happen today? Is anything you're proud of happen today? Like that stuff should be happening every day. And if it's not, you need to rewrite your days. And it's not as hard as you think. It's not. Yes, cheat sheet every day for your dream hour. Online shopping, fit it in. If you love to shop, oh my God, put it in your day. Like this is judgment free. Like be honest with yourself. Be honest. Like, do you want to hire a maid? Like, be honest with yourself. Do you want your feet to never touch the ground? Like, be honest with yourself. There's no shame in what makes you happy. You just need to admit it first. You need to find it, admit it, and share it. Find it, admit it, and share it. And then go from there and try to live it every day. Life is short. Yeah, you got it. Life is short. So why are we hyper-focused on putting our heads down now to get somewhere? If you don't enjoy the journey, you're going to miss all the fun stuff. You're going to miss all the important stuff. You're going to miss all the connections and the changing and the evolution that happens in you before you get there. Because does health ever stop? Does a mind makeover ever really end? Like, is there ever a thing as your peak growth? No. So really, ladies, there is no end goal. Your goal is to keep making new goals. Your goal is to keep leveling up and get closer and closer to that perfect day every day. That's your goal. And that's a lifelong task. So don't get so caught up with your head down because you think as soon as you achieve something, you're going to be happy. It starts today. It starts now. It starts today.